CVS Part 1 Case 16.
A 67-year-old man with 22 years history of poorly controlled hypertension presents with progressive dyspnea, orthopnea, leg swelling for 8 months. 10 years earlier, echo findings shows concentric left ventricular hypertrophy with preserved ejection fraction and impaired relaxation. He was diagnosed with hypertensive heart disease and advised strict blood pressure control, but he stopped his medication and was lost to follow-up. He now reports severe exercise intolerance, needing to sleep upright, early satiety and occasional palpitations. He has no history of alcohol misuse, viral prodrome, chest pain, syncope and chronic lung disease or familial cardiomyopathy. On examination, BP is 182 upon 104, heart rate is 108 and the oxygen saturation is 94%. He also has a laterally displaced diffuse apical impulse, elevated JVP, S3 gallop and bibasilar crackles, a soft holosystolic murmur at the apex, hepatomegaly and 2+ bilateral pitting edema. ECG shows sinus tachycardia and left ventricular hypertrophy with strain and a new left bundle branch block. Chest X-ray shows cardiomegaly and pulmonary venous congestion. Echo findings includes dilated left ventricle with global hypokinesis. LVEF is 26%, moderately functional MR and enlarged left atrium. Right heart catheterization demonstrates elevated left side filling pressures with low cardiac index and increased SVR. Which of the following best explains the transition from the earlier cardiac phenotype to the current one? Option A. Chronic pressure overload lead to concentric hypertrophy followed by myocyte loss, fibrosis and adverse remodeling, eventually producing eccentric dilation and systolic failure. Option B. Untreated hypertension primarily causes restrictive cardiomyopathy, which latter progresses to dilated cardiomyopathy. Option C. The original echo likely misclassified hypertrophic cardiomyopathy as hypertensive heart disease. Option D. Progressive volume overload from hypertension caused isolated right ventricular failure with secondary left ventricular dilation. Option E. The low ejection fraction is an expected measurement artifact in patients with long-standing left ventricular hypertrophy.
This is a case of hypertensive heart disease progressing from heart failure with preserved ejection fraction to heart failure with reduced ejection fraction. So step by step we'll understand that what's happening here. First, the chronic pressure overload leads to concentric left ventricular hypertrophy, impaired ventricular relaxation, high filling pressures, cardiopulmonary congestion, and here it behaves like heart failure with preserved ejection fraction. Later on, the chronic persistent hypertension leads to adverse remodeling, which in turn causes myocardial fibrosis, myocyte loss and microvascular ischemia. These all things leads to eccentric dilatation and systolic failure of the left ventricle. Now coming to the preventive strategies, that how we can prevent this progression from HFpEF to HFrEF. We can prevent it by taking 4 strategies. First one is strict BP control, maintaining a target BP of 120/80 mmHg. Second strategy is early blockade of the RAS to prevent myocardial fibrosis and prevent the myocyte loss, microvascular ischemia and eccentric dilatation and failure. Hence, the third strategy is the regular monitoring of the heart structure and function by ECG and echocardiographic findings. Fourth strategy is lifestyle changes, that is weight control, strict adherence to medication and salt restriction. Now coming to the option exclusion.
Option A, the chronic pressure overload lead to concentric hypertrophy followed by myocyte loss, fibrosis and adverse remodeling, eventually producing eccentric dilation and systolic failure.
As discussed, this is the correct option.
Option B, untreated hypertension primarily causes restrictive cardiomyopathy, which later progresses to dilated cardiomyopathy.
This is a wrong statement as this is not a case of restricted cardiomyopathy.
Option C, the original echocardiogram likely misclassified hypertrophic cardiomyopathy as hypertensive heart disease.
This is again a wrong statement as it's not a misclassification of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy as hypertensive cardiomyopathy.
Option D, the progressive volume overload from hypertension caused isolated right ventricular failure with secondary left ventricular dilation.
This is wrong as it is not a chronic volume overload, it's a chronic pressure overload progressing to eccentric dilatation and systolic failure.
Option E, the low ejection fraction is an expected measurement artifact in patients with long-standing left ventricular hypertrophy.
This is again a wrong statement as the low ejection fraction is not a measurement artifact.
Search EduMedX on Instagram and YouTube to start your journey today.